There it goes. Welcome, 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 trivalent beings of spirit, mind, and body. Time for the Ask Doc Alkebulanese Solution Show, sponsored by Prometheus Reborn Universal Foundation, also known as Proof. Its mission is to spread the trivalent understanding noetics, featuring stand-up philosophy that includes anthropology, psychology, biology, metaphysics, medicine, psychodrama, comedy, and music through a genre called edutainment, educating while entertaining, coined by KRS-One. The host of this wonderful show is Dr. Kwaku L. Carlisle Woods, RN, MD, MED1, and myself, co-host, Dr. Hamida Rockman Woods, MED, PhD, MED2. Well, as you already know, I have the PH.
I have the M.
We both have D's. That makes us Doc Squared. The title of the day's show is Have I Got a Story for Ya?
Woo! Y'all just don't know. Before we start this show, this is the most important show I've ever done in my life. And if I live to be 300, I will never do a more important show than this one. We are also missing one of our main personnel, Micah. We love you. So we're going to have to be doing some double duty. Last but not least, today's the 26th, right? So in 3 days, it'll be my birthday. I'll be 75 years old. Ha ha! Yeah! If I live 72 more hours, that's just this. Okay. We're going to have a very, very unique program today. Our show today will be the most important show I have ever done. And all of my life has led to now. To this show. Okay. Let's go with the Hip Hop Trio. Plus, oh my goodness. They are going to be performing with me on my birthday at Riddle Green Partnership Urban Garden. It's going to be Saturday.
We're still learning how to do this.
The 29th.
Picture up.
It's doors open at 6. And it's going to be an hour-and-a-half performance that will change the lives and the living of everyone who attends.
All right. I am still learning how to do this. So I'm going to hit that and see if that helps. No, that does not.
Okay.
So I'm trying to project that picture.
Okay. Meg? Yep. We might need your assistance in getting her to project this picture. She's got the right slides up. She hit it, and nothing happened.
Bear with us, y'all. It's one more step, and
we'll do it. We're gonna get it done, y'all.
That I missed.
We're gonna get it straight up done. I'm telling you the truth.
Okay, I pulled that up.
Right there.
I understand, but okay, let me
do
show
it
you.
again. Do.
Oh, okay, honey, I got it.
Just make it big.
What did you just hit? This?
Yeah, a little square box.
Okay, you didn't tell me that before, but I got it now.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, y'all.
Hit the plus or minus button to make it bigger. Or this screen right here.
After I exit, then I hit that double.
See this screen right here? The same thing. Make it big. And then escape out of that whenever you're ready. The same thing to enlarge it that you do with the videos.
All right. There's the Hip Hop Trio up. That's what I just did.
Oh, there we are. Now make us large.
And now make it large.
There it is.
There
Oh
we
my
go.
goodness. Wow, and I'm wearing black that day. Black and gold instead of the white and gold we're doing now. Okay, now let me explain this to you. Saturday, 3/29/25, begins at 6 p.m. Now, to get to Riddall Green Partnership, you go down Kinsman, and you go down the hill toward 93rd. Okay? We live at Kinsman and Martin Luther King, so it's only 2 blocks down to 93rd. Go past 93rd and cross the viaduct bridge. Once you cross the bridge, take a right turn on 81st Street. That will be the second right turn after the viaduct. The first one is 82nd Street. You want to turn on 81st Street and go 2 blocks down, and on the right, you will see their establishment.
Like to give you all the flyer and it's still having an issue.
Looks like a Cracker Barrel restaurant or a log cabin, a big log cabin. Okay. You're doing what he told you. There it is. Okay, slide up. Mick. Next slide. Okay, there it is. We got it. Okay. This is it. Special performance by the Hip Hop Trio Plus. Edutainment experience. Oh, I love that. What are the first 2 words in that?
It says, join us for an edutainment experience.
Join us for an edutainment experience. It will be. And everybody who comes to that thing, boy, I look good on that picture. Everybody who comes will be totally and completely changed forever, and they will not be the same person they were when they walked in the door. I guarantee it. Anybody who comes out of that performance and says, I didn't change at all, there was nothing new added to my living, there was nothing new added to me, I will pay you $50 if I believe you. Okay. Now we're going to make one little hit at Kwanzaa.
Yes, Kwanzaa. And, well, before that, let's talk about David.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do what we can do.
David and Kevin.
All righty.
All right, there it is. That's
all right.
That's David right there in the black shirt. And he's holding my grandson, Kevin Woods, his son. And they're in Ghana right now and having a wonderful, wonderful time. That's where they're from. If the Lord says the same, David's going to join us a little later on in the show.
And I just like my spirit to feel a part so you can see the image of our grandchild. That's who he is. So y'all can see that image. Thank you.
Absolutement. Kwanzaa. Unity.
All right.
Okay. Kwanzaa.
Now, Kwanzaa, let's talk about Kwanzaa now, y'all.
Yes.
You remember that I'm going to let my husband talk to you a little bit about Kwanzaa while I'm trying to do this.
Well, when the original Kwanzaa celebration was created, the goals and the aims of it were remarkably enabling. However, the order of their institution left a whole lot to be desired. I rearranged the sequence of those Kwanzaa principles into an order that would not only make them more effective, but would make everybody who practiced them a much better being.
And for whatever reason, it's not coming up, but we are still using the Nguzu Saba. As you know, principles of Kwanzaa that Dr. Malana Karenga created. This month is still unity, which is Umoja in Swahili. And in Twi, it is Nkabam.
Nkabam.
Yes.
Nkabam. I like it. Nkabam.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing. Okay, let's go on with the show now, y'all. And I need to tell you right now, last week's show on vector augmentation, the Trivalent Understanding Noetics Tools show, had a really, really, really good response from all of our observers and students. But today's show is much, much better for such tools that can not only change your life, but your living. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to get rid of my words, and I'm going to have to go to the words that are much, much older, because I have to give you some specific quotes from this book called the Holy Bible. Oh, no, Holy Bible. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, y'all. To start this story, we must go back to about 950 BCE, when the children of Israel had left Kemet and were on their way to Canaan, the promised land. You got to go to Deuteronomy 28 to 33 chapters for details. But God was telling Moses what was going to happen. And he stated that his chosen people would get their new land, become prosperous, and desert the laws, rituals, and prayers of their higher power. That's what it said. So we're going to need to go to Deuteronomy 28:9 for the first reading. Okay.
Alrighty, we are almost there, I hope.
Okay.
Hoping we're supposed to click this, and then we're supposed to enlarge.
Okay, mix slides. There it is.
And let me see.
Enlarge it.
You could bring it closer in, or do I do that?
You do that, I think.
Yeah, you just hit the plus or minus button.
Hit that plus or minus button down in the right corner. No.
Little magnifying glass.
It'll be on your screen. Yeah.
Now I'm in the
Magnifying glass.
Right here.
Right there in the, and I told you, in the right hand corner. There you go. Now take it back where it was. Okay. Deuteronomy 28:9. The Lord shall establish thee a holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee. If thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, and walk in his ways. But it shall come to pass, if thou shalt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command this day, that curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now, what curses was God talking about? Too many for me to mention them all, so I only want to mention 4 of them. He said his chosen people would be cursed with, cause you to be smitten by enemies and lose battles and wars. That's number 1. Number 2, be blind and grope at noontime as the blind grope in darkness. He means lack of understanding with no enabling spiritual images.
Okay, Mick. You want to put it on doc? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Number 3, thou shalt build a house. I really love this one. Thou shalt build a house and not dwell within, plant a vineyard and not enjoy the grapes thereof. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man will lie with her. Number 4, thy sons and daughters will be given to another people.
Let me know when to change the slide, okay?
Okay, change, and now verse 47-48 stated.
I don't have 47. You mean?
Because thou serve not the Lord your God with gladness, therefore shall thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth. Now, God is talking to Moses about what's going to happen to the chosen people after they leave Kemet. They're going to go to a new land, Canaan, and get really, really up on themselves and be very prosperous. And that prosperousness is going to cause them to not serve the Lord as they were promising they would. Because thou serve not the Lord your God with gladness, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. You're going to be servants of your enemies that the Lord's going to send against you. In hunger and in thirst, and he shall put a yoke of iron about thy neck. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth. Now, that goes on in verse 64, where the Lord says, and the verse says, and the Lord shall scatter you amongst all people, from the one end of the earth to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods.
So, Mick, I'm putting the slides up. Is this something you're supposed to do?
Yeah, you just gotta let me know when you want me to.
Okay, there it's up. So I'm going to say imagine that so you'll know. Okay? Imagine that.
The Bible, 2864. All righty, that's what we're doing. Go on now. We're at verse 64.
Okay, I'll open it back up. That's where we were. Let me open it back up again.
Okay, we're now at chapter 30, verse 1.
Oh, okay, so you're done with that one. All
Yes,
right.
chapter 30, verse 1. Now again, this is God
Imagine
talking
that.
to Moses about, there you go. When all these blessings and curses I have set before you come upon you, and you take them to heart, wherever the Lord your God disperses you among the nations, and when you and your children return to the Lord your God and obey him with all your heart and with all your soul, according to everything I command you today, then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord has scattered thee.
We're back.
Now, does that sound familiar?
Okay, Mick, we're back. When I say we're back, that means the slide is down.
Okay. I told you we were going to have some.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it. Okay. This is again God talking to Moses about his chosen people, and they're leaving Kemet, what Europeans call Egypt, and going to Canaan, the Middle East, that they're going to turn into, quote, Israel. All right. Verse 9,
Okay.
chapter 31 says, and the Lord will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land.
Imagine that.
For good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. Now, this is what will happen. This is what God promises once the chosen ones, the children of Israel that have been sent out and are now all scattered all over God's creation. When they return back to God, that's when God will make plenteous every work of thine hand, and the fruit of the body, and thy cattle, everything. and the fruit of thy land for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. Now, I have just been explaining to you
Intro.
again what God told Moses about the children of Israel, his chosen people. Woo! Okay, that was a lot. But now we leave religion for science. For you see, the nation of Germany, long accused of taking people apart from their history, apart from their culture, apart from their humanity, and making them less than human. Germany has been into a coalescence of scientists, including geneticists, anthropologists, and linguists, to have them investigate, along with biblical historians, the path of those chosen people from then to now. And that's what smacks me in the face.
At that point, let's greet Ulysses. Good evening to you,
Julie!
love, as well.
Julie!
Looking forward to
I
seeing
am
you
so
Saturday.
glad you were here. Please go back and get the Bible verses, Deuteronomy 28 chapter, because that's very important.
Hey, City.
Sydney!
Hey, daughter.
Yes, she told me she was gonna watch. And there she is.
Look at that
Hey,
beautiful
daughter. How you doing, Sid? We love you. Okay. Now, these Germans went into the graves of ancient Israelites
Imagine that.
who lived during the reigns of Solomon and David to affirm the original assumption that Israelites were of Semitic/European extraction. That failed miserably. Instead, they found, after so many trials, that their mechanism has to be upgraded, that the descendants of God's chosen people are the people sent.
Take your finger and make it bigger. Usually.
That's the next one.
Are the people sent from Alkebulan to America, the Caribbean, Haiti, Brazil, and Western Alkebulan by the Atlantic slave trade. Now, I'm going to say this again because I want everybody to understand this.
Make it bigger. There you go.
Okay. They went into graves of people who had lived all the way back almost 1,000 years before Christ. So almost 3,500 years ago. And they took bone marrow, they took ligaments, they took other body parts, broke them down, and examined the DNA, as well as the mitochondrial proteins that were in it. They specifically used the Y chromosome, which is passed from father to son. And they used the mitochondria because that is strictly female origin. Instead, again, that the descendants of God's chosen people are the people sent from Alkebulan to America, the Caribbean, Haiti, Brazil, and Western Alkebulan by the Atlantic slave trade. All of those people
Imagine that.
who were sent from Alkebulan throughout all the rest of the world, just like God told Moses it would happen. I need to say something about Louisiana because they said especially in Louisiana, they found all of these genetic markers in very, very, very high evidence. But the genetic evidence showed that specific gene patterns found in the descendants of Alkebulanese sold into chattel slavery were particularly high in that Y chromosome haploid groups and the mitochondrial DNA that specified the Israeli tribes of Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, which were the most southern of the Israelite tribes. When Israel set itself up, the northern portion was called Israel, and the southern portion was called Judah. When Israel was doing all this stuff with the Babylonians and the Syrians and all these other people, often Judah was not involved.
Gross.
And often Judah would, when they were threatened, simply go south back into Alkebulan and dare all these people to come follow them into Alkebulan. Got so much bad that they ended up in south central Alkebulan. South Africa and places around in there, there is a tribe called the Lemba, Lembe. And the Lemba have been saying for centuries that they are the lost tribe of Israel. They follow Judaic laws, programs, culture, diet, and to a degree, religious ceremonies. National Geographic heard about the Lemba, and National Geographic decided we're going to check these suckers out and see if they really are who they say they are. So they got some Lemba men, pulled their blood, and measured it against the blood from Jerusalem, where the religious leaders, again, religious leaders are always from the tribe of Levi. You cannot be from any other tribe and be a Jewish priest. You got to be from Levi. So all of the things that are Levi are strongest and highest in those priests that are right now practicing in Israel. They had this Y chromosome at 6 to 8%. This is Jewish rabbis in today's Jerusalem. When they measured the Lemba had that same DNA, but they had it at 10 to 12%. They are much more Jewish than the Jews we think are Jews in Jerusalem. Germany found these patterns were not present in Sephardic or Ashkenazi Jews. Those are pink Jews. These are Europeans who decided they were going to switch from Christianity to Judaism because it gave them cultural and political advantages. They did that a couple of hundred years ago. So they were not the chosen people. And they had none of this Y chromosome and mitochondrial DNA that the Lemba had or the priest in Jerusalem had. The scientists let their data go to peer review in Heidelberg, Berlin, and others that all verified it. And last week, Vladimir Putin stated that the West should pay the descendants of the chosen ones. He said that they should be paid reparations for the legacy stolen and the history erased. Now, this happened about maybe 2.5 weeks after the Pope of the Holy Roman Empire, the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, admitted that the original Israelites were of mixed race, and so was the Holy Family. The Catholic Church knew this, and they knew it when they started the religion. But Constantine, the emperor who started Christianity, wanted Europeans to share that same religion, and Rome was invading Europe. So they decided to use a European to attract Europeans.
Imagine that.
They got the nephew of Cesare Borgia. He was used as a model of Jesus Christ by Michelangelo Buonarroti as he painted the Sistine Chapel and other works of art. Almost none of the people that you are looking at right now are the chosen people. This is the Pope talking with other Sephardic Jews about the Roman Catholic and Jewish religion coming to some agreement. Last but definitely not least.
We can leave that?
Yes. Last but definitely not least, I researched to find out who in the Bible are from the tribes of Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, so I could see who my ancestors may be. I was shocked to find that they were everybody. Every freaking body who has any importance in the Bible is from the tribes of Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. Let me give you a list. Moses, Aaron, Miriam, Ezra, Jeremiah, King Saul, the disciple Paul, King David, King Solomon, or this guy named Yeshua ben Yosef, but who the Romans call Jesus of Nazareth. All of them, and about 100 times more, are from the same tribes as us. These people screwed up our lineage on purpose because they didn't want us to know who the hell we were. They knew we would never follow them, especially using our religion, Christianity, came from Alkebulanese, not Europe. The only Europeans in Christianity are the Romans who killed Yeshua ben Yosef.
Imagine the images of the
But
prophet.
no.
Imagine.
Our ancestors are like this.
Imagine that.
Make it bigger. Yeah. Okay. That's what our ancestors are like. Now look at the statue down in the lower left corner. Statue of King David with his nose broken off. Just like they broke off the nose of the Sphinx. Like they broke off the nose of all of us who look like us. Look at his nose. Look at his nose. Look at his lips. He looks like my cousin Clinton. Sure does. And Moses looks like my grandfather. Solomon kind of looks like me, I got to tell you. And Yeshua ben Yosef, he looks like half the folks I know. But this is what pink people did not want us to do. They did not want us to understand who we are, whose we are, and our own history. That's why as soon as they took us from the west coast of Alkebulanese, they said, we're changing your name, we're changing your language, you can't have any of that religious stuff that you've been doing. We're going to give you a new name, say Toby. And we are going to take away all of your history. You have no history except that history that starts from right now, right here.
Exit out.
Sadiqa, the Lemba community is native in which country in Africa? It's near South Africa. Mozambique, I think, got a bunch of Lemba in it. a country that's right to the north and east of South Africa.
And Ethiopia, right?
No, the Limba are not in Ethiopia.
Oh, okay.
No, they're much, much further south.
Alrighty.
Okay, now let me tell you two things. Those are your ancestors. Those are your ancestors. Who are you with those ancestors? That's what pink people did not want us to understand. That's what pink people did not want us to know. That is why pink people have been lying, hiding, and doing all this crazy stuff to try to keep us away from us. Try to keep us away from who we are. Last thing in the Bible. We're going to go back to Deuteronomy again. That's all happened there.
Imagine that.
31:19. This is 31:19. And God said to Moses, now therefore write down for yourselves this song and teach it to the Israelites. Have them recite it so it may be a witness for me against them. And he's talking about these other gods, these other people. Write yourself a song. You mean to tell me edutainment goes back to 1,000 years before Christ? Edutainment was authorized by God. Make a song to teach yourselves. Teach it to your children. Have them recite it so it may be a witness for me. We have songs that have these types of messages in them. And we try to tell everybody, sing these damn songs. Now, what I noticed when I got to Cleveland was the fact that children did not learn how to listen. We did not have televisions, laptops, or smartphones. We only had a radio. And for most of my young life, that's what we did. I didn't think we had a television until I was about like maybe 9 or 10. All the time before then was spent listening to a radio. You had to learn to listen. Learning means you practice something that you understand until it becomes part of you.
Exit out.
And listening means you make pictures of the meanings of the sounds that you're listening to, that you are hearing, I should say. Our children have never had to do that, and they have never learned to listen. And when I first talked to parents about that, once they understood it, they said, yeah, Doc, you're right. How come nobody's ever told us that before? I don't know. It wasn't their job. It was my job. But one thing I noticed they did listen to. They didn't listen to their parents. They didn't listen to their teachers. They didn't listen to their preachers. What they did listen to was music. Children could tell you every lyric from every song they have ever listened to. Michelle Kendall said, way to go!
Hello, everyone. Happy birthday soon, Doc. Aries fam.
Aries fam, because she's just 2 days for me.
One day. She's 28th. Yeah.
28. She Aries. We know each other. Pump them pinkies. Okay. Song. We were told to create songs. I have been creating songs since I was about 6. And I've been performing them professionally since I've been about 14. In a couple of days, I'll be 75. I've been doing it that long. But I did not realize how effective they were going to be until I got to Cleveland. and learned that children have a listening problem, except music. We went to a Cleveland school about, 3, 4 weeks ago. And again, the children, they didn't listen. And I told them about not being able to listen. I said, if you want a superpower like a Marvel character, because I'm a Marvelite from way back, that's why I say I'm strange.
Dr. Strange, yeah.
Yes. But I told them if you want to be a superhero, if you want to have a superpower, learn to listen. Because listen gives you energies and images that most of your fellows don't get because they have never learned to listen. And then we went on the bandstand and started performing. And I talked to a guy named O.D. Big guy. He was the biggest guy in the class. He looked like he was about 16 or 17, and everybody else looked like they were about 10 or 12. And he wasn't listening at all to what I was saying. And I pulled to the side and pointed my hand down on him and I said, he is an example of what I'm saying. He is not listening to anything I am saying. And all the other students said, yep, that's him, all right. That's him. That's definitely him. And then I went on the bandstand. And I started to perform. I started to play drums and sing. Suddenly, O.D. was like, and his eyes never left me. He picked up every move I made and every strike of my drum. He was on it because that's what they've learned to listen to. They have practiced listening to music and making images out of the songs that they hear. That's why we put almost everything that is important into a song. Because God said, do it. Now I got to go a little bit more personal. We've been watching videos and one of the videos about the chosen people and us being the chosen people was a guy by the name of William Christian who understood what I just got through telling you. He started a church called the Church of the Living God. 1890 some odd, he started this church. As anybody who knows me will attest, I have told everybody that I know, my mother's father was a bishop in the Church of the Living God. All of my uncles are pastors in the Church of the Living God. My cousins are pastors, Church of the Living God. I talked to my wife about seeing black Bibles where everybody in the Bible was black. Everybody had one. My grandfather had one, all my uncles had one, my mama had one, everybody in my family had one. I didn't know that was because we were from the Church of the Living God. I didn't know, even though I told everybody, because that's what I was told, when my grandfather left North Carolina, he came to Missouri with about 35, 40, 50 other folks. And all of them had changed their last name to Christian. I did not know why, because nobody told me why. Maybe they didn't understand why. But it had to do with the fact that the Church of the Living God was started by a guy named what? Christian. And he was teaching that we were God's chosen people. I was never taught that as a child. I just assumed it as a child. I did. Because of reading the books and seeing all the black people in the Bible. I assumed. And when I saw pink people in the Bible, I said, oh, that white people did that. And I was right, though I didn't know how right I was. Okay.
Wow.
We had to go through most of this without any song, any break. We are now going to throw a song in. I want to put this song in because this song captures to a large degree the results of what pink people have caused in our family groups. Pink people have been about attacking our image of ourselves. We're lazy. We're no good. We're thieves. We're this. We're that. We're the other. And we're criminals. Yeah, because they will put us in jail for any reason, especially our men. Why? Because the 14th Amendment says you cannot be a slave unless you get convicted of a crime. So pink people have been about convicting our males of crimes ever since 1860 some odd, 1868, 1869. As a result, we have had a lack of males in our families, and that lack of males had led to a lack of leadership, especially of our males. This song by Miles Alexander Keaton Smith, known as Humble G the Fiddler, speaks to that very, very same thing, and it's called Over and Over. The song.
Play the intro.
Play the intro.
Yeah. Now this next topic is a topic we've been dealing with over and over again. Look, now I would be lying if I said I couldn't feel what you was going through. See, sisters do it everywhere, they gotta feel it too. Be looking for love in all the wrong places. Single family homes but no father replacements. He said he loved you, then he depart you. Got his quick nut and left and never called you. Now you stuck in the hood with 2 sons and 1 daughter. Now you wishing death on them just like karma. Yeah, I know you feeling down, slipped up and got pregnant again. You going on your 4th child. It's more welfare and more Section 8, busting your butt off just to put food on their plate. Now you living in the projects with real bad kids. See, a brother's not taking in kids, it's not his. Your baby daddy, I know you despise him, but will your son grow up to turn out just like him? It's like we all grow up without fathers. Well, at least where I'm from. Wonder what he doing, or what we do. We get out in this world, have a little fun and do the same thing. We think it's time. Matter of fact, I know it's time to bring this change. But before that, next generation. Look, yo, deja vu and baby mama drama calling your crib. And guess what? It's not up your doing. One of your sons, he slipped up, he got her pregnant. Just like his father, he's heading the same direction. Damn, now you all outspoken, another generation, yet the chain is still not broken. When he grew up, neglected, it damn near killed him. He turns around and does the same shit to his children. His baby mama wanna break his neck. Child support, he's pissed when he looks at his check. Quits his job and does under the table work. Now he know what it feels like inside when it hurts not knowing the facts. If his shorty is eating, now he's somewhere spirit broken, feeling defeated, but still wants to give the mama all of the blame. Not knowing why, deep inside he feels this guilt and the shame. How this goes all the way back to when we were slaves. They used to breed and strip us for my seeds every day. I gotta ask, it's time to hack this vicious chain. It's another reason why you feel the guilt and the shame, cause you grew up the same way with hope and faith. I know when one day you'll be a man in a disgrace to your mama, your grandmama, your great-grandmama, and all the neglected children in the same trauma. Holla. Yo, shout out to all the single mothers out there getting theirs, talking about you and changing ways. We live in foul over and over.
Why? The why is in pink people's fears. They fear that if we understand who we are, we will do to them what they did to us. Unfortunately, they are completely and totally unaware that we are not them. We don't think like them. We don't see the world like them. We don't hate like them. We don't fear like them. Because one of the things that I ask everybody is, if you ask your higher power for a gift or an ability, say courage, would your higher power simply give it to you? Or would your higher power put you in a situation and a circumstance to develop that, to utilize that, to make that more of you? I've asked this question for about 6, 7 years, and I think only in 2 cases out of thousands has anybody said the higher power would just give it to him. Everybody else said, no, he put you in a position to gain it. And that's what happened to our ancestors, God's chosen people. Our ancestors were placed in a situation in which all of the things that they had previously thought were important, nice clothes, good house, family, all the stuff that goes with that, all that was taken. And none of the things that they had previously placed all of this status in was available to them. So what did our ancestors do? They got real, real spiritual. They took spirituality to a whole different level. They sang songs about freedom, education, liberty, and all of the things that they were to develop as enslaved people. An appreciation for freedom, an appreciation for these small things in life, an appreciation for God's presence within you. These were all things that us were supposed to pick up, and we have. Go to any Alkebulanese house of worship or religious institution anywhere in America, the Caribbean, Haiti, Western Alkebulan, and Brazil, where our kin are. Their religious ceremonies are full-throated, totally and completely absorbing. Some people will get to spirit and they will have a total nother life through the spirit. They will do things that they could not even consider normally. But this has been the result of slavery. And I wrote a book called The Blessings of Slavery that everybody and their mama should read and at least to some degree take in. Because it gives you the answers to the questions, why? Why did we have to go through all of this? What was the result of us going through this? And why are we right now just coming to understand who we are? Pink people were frightened of us understanding who we are. It is happening right now. And I have talked to my legal representative, my legal supporter, about suing the Roman Catholic Church, the United States of America, and a whole bunch of other religious organizations, and making them finance a tour, an edutainment tour that's going to take the Hip Hop Trio Plus all over this planet, in the biggest venues, in the largest arenas, everywhere where people are, to give them the songs that God said they must listen to. That is what we are doing. That is what we are about. Family, I have to serve dinner, smile, and finish Gail's hair. Love you all. We love you too, City.
Look forward to seeing you soon,
Yes.
if the Most High pleases. Yes.
And the ancestors say the same. They most definitely surely will. Thank you. I did not know, to the largest degree, why a lot of things in my life happened. But I understood, at least to some degree, that it was supposed to happen, because that's what I had been told by my family. That my grandfather, my mother's father, knew that I was going to be coming before I was ever born, told the whole family, and my whole family told me most of my existence. Now, I am 12 years old. I'm coming from Antioch Baptist Church. I'm walking down St. Ferdinand on the opposite side of the street from my home. I start crossing the street, and for some strange reason, I was thinking about Solomon. And I prayed right then as I was crossing the street, and I said, Lord, please give me understanding like Solomon and wisdom so that I can help my people. God told me, and there wasn't a voice, but God told me this. You ask well. And because you ask not for yourself, but for your people, I will give you what you ask. And everything else besides. Last, but definitely not least, God has been doing that my whole life. And I'm a high school dropout that got 9 degrees. The highest degrees anybody on this planet can get, I got. High school dropout. Sure. God arranged for me to get them. He also arranged for me to be trained by the United States Army in how to survive and how to live on nothing. And I do it every day. My wife and I, we are so blessed.
Yes, Ashe.
Every day we are blessed. Every day we have the best meals we have ever had in our life. Every day, wonderful, amazing things happen, and all of our friends go, what?
And the conversations that we have that allow us to continue to bond is just amazing.
It is amazing.
Remarkable.
And remarkable. Now me, I just simply say, it's strange. There was a guy in Marvel comic books who left America and went to Southeast Asia, just like I did, and he came back a magician named Peter Strange. They call him Dr. Strange. They call me Doc too, and they call me Strange. Okay, last thing. I died, and I told everybody I died. When I died and went to Owuo, they stopped me and told me it was not my time, and they explained to me all of these things that I was supposed to be doing. All of these things my life was involved with. All of these things that were not going to be done for me, but was going to be done for humanity. I'm fighting like a dog because I don't want to leave. Once you get to a wuo where it's 85 degrees and light is everywhere, and you feel just like you did after the last sex that you had. You know that feeling. Everybody feels like that there. That's what being there is about. And nobody wants to leave. I didn't want to leave. I was kicking and fighting and cussing and carrying on, and they were just sending me back down to this reality. Now, I didn't remember most of that until a couple of months later. Yeah, it was in Japan, and this all happened. I got blown up and died in Vietnam, but they sent me to Camp Zama in Japan, and that's where the hospital is, and that's where I remembered dying and what happened when I died. But it's the same thing that happens to everybody who dies. Your spirit goes to another dimension, another reality. It's a different reality than this one in many, many ways. And one of the ways is that here we have time. There is no past, future, or present in a wuo. It is always now. And it always stays that way. And because of that, you can't learn anything new in a wuo. Again, learning is practicing what you understand until it becomes part of you. And that means you have to do it over time. That's why we come to this reality, to learn the lessons that time will teach us. And once those lessons are learned, they are no longer in your mind. They are now in your spirit. And you take those lessons with you when you die and go back to a wuo. That's the whole purpose of our lives. Okay, I'm through.
All right. So, Mick, do I hit outro first with the Futu Fanafu, or do I hit it with Doc and I after we close?
Let me come over there and see.
Alrighty.
Well, while he's coming over here and seeing, we're going to wish you peace.
Peace.
Which stands for proper education. Always corrects error. Yes, y'all. Take this lesson to heart, but more importantly, take it to spirit and start imagining
This one.
your holy ancestors. You are chosen.
Okay.
Thanks
For having us on your minds.
Peace.